Long ago, in a quiet village nestled within the rolling hills of ancient China, there lived a kind-hearted boy. Though he had a warm and gentle nature, he was burdened by a problem that he couldn't seem to escape. His mind was constantly trapped in the past. Every time someone said something unkind to him or treated him unfairly, he would dwell on it for days, replaying the hurtful moments again and again in his head. These memories felt like heavy stones weighing him down, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't let them go. This habit of overthinking affected every part of his life. He often found himself so preoccupied with old grievances that he had little room in his heart for joy or peace. Making friends was difficult because he worried too much about what others thought of him, and when it came to schoolwork or chores at home, he struggled to focus. His mind was always elsewhere, stuck in a loop of old thoughts that refused to fade away. One day, as the boy sat on a small bench near the edge of the village, an elderly man passing by noticed the troubled expression on his face. The old villager had seen the boy many times before and had always been struck by how solemn he looked, as though he carried the weight of the world on his young shoulders. "Why do you look so troubled, young one?" the man asked gently. The boy hesitated, unsure whether to share his struggles. But there was something kind and understanding in the old man's voice, so he explained how his thoughts seemed to trap him, how he couldn't stop reliving painful memories from the past. The old man listened patiently and nodded thoughtfully. "I know someone who might be able to help you," he said. "In a nearby village, there lives a Zen monk who is known for his wisdom. Many people go to him for guidance when they feel lost. Perhaps he can help you too." The boy considered the man's suggestion. He wasn't sure what to expect, but he felt desperate to find some relief from the storm inside his mind. The next morning, he set out for the neighboring village to seek the Zen monk's help. When he arrived at the monastery, the boy explained his problem to the monk, describing how he was constantly consumed by his overthinking. He spoke about how it affected his life, leaving him anxious, distracted, and unable to find peace. The monk listened intently, his face calm and serene, and nodded as he absorbed every word. After the boy finished speaking, the monk didn't respond right away. Instead, he stood up and walked out of the room without a word. The boy was left sitting there, confused and uncertain. Minutes passed, and just as the boy began to wonder if the monk would return at all, the monk came back into the room, holding a glass of water in his hand. The monk held the glass out in front of him and asked, "Tell me, what do you think is the weight of this glass of water?" The boy furrowed his brow, surprised by the unexpected question. He thought for a moment before replying, "Not very much. It's light." The monk smiled faintly. "Yes, it feels light. But what if I hold this glass for an hour? What do you think will happen?" The boy considered the question. "Your arm will start to feel tired," he said. The monk nodded. "And if I hold it for a whole day?" "Your arm will hurt a lot, and it might even go numb," the boy replied. "Exactly," said the monk. "Now tell me, did the weight of the glass change during that time?" "No," the boy answered. "It stayed the same." "That's right," the monk said. "The glass didn't get any heavier. But the longer I held onto it, the heavier it felt, and the more pain it caused." The boy's eyes widened as he began to understand the monk's point. The monk continued, "This glass of water is like the troubles and worries you carry in your mind. At first, they may feel small, even insignificant. But the longer you hold on to them, the heavier they become. If you carry them for hours, days, or even years, they will weigh you down so much that it becomes unbearable. The key is to put the glass down." The boy was struck by the simplicity of the monk's analogy. He realized that he had been holding onto his worries and painful memories for far too long, letting them dominate his thoughts and make his life heavier than it needed to be. "But how do I put the glass down?" the boy asked. The monk smiled gently. By learning to let go. When the past tries to pull you back, remind yourself that it's already gone. Focus on what you can do in this moment, right now. Practice mindfulness. Pay attention to your breath, the sounds around you, the feeling of the ground beneath your feet. When you anchor yourself in the present, the past loses its grip on you. The boy listened carefully, absorbing the monk's words. They felt like a light breaking through the fog that had clouded his mind for so long. From that day forward, the boy began to practice what the monk had taught him. Whenever he caught himself overthinking or dwelling on past hurts, he would remember the glass of water. He imagined himself putting the glass down and turning his attention back to the present moment. At first, it wasn't easy. The old habit of overthinking had a strong hold on him, and it took time and effort to break free. But gradually, he found it became easier to let go of the thoughts that weighed him down. He started to feel lighter, as though a great burden had been lifted from his shoulders. With his mind no longer clouded by old worries, the boy discovered a new sense of clarity and peace. He became more present in his daily life, paying attention to the small joys that he had previously overlooked. He made new friends, focused better on his studies, and found happiness in the simple moments of each day. The boy never forgot the Zen monk's lesson about the glass of water. It became a guiding principle in his life, a reminder that the weight of the past only holds power if we choose to carry it. And so, he learned to live with a lighter heart, free from the burdens that had once held him back.